All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And what a return. Great field position all the way out to the 48-yard line.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
They go play action here on first down. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play. So from the 36 now, first and 10. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. First and 10 at the 19. Here's Jackson. He completes this one to Mack. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this,
Gordon loses the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
50's the money. 50's the money. Hey, we're pretty close. Pretty close. Hey, don't look back. Hey, we got Mike 50. Mike 50, yo. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go. Ringo. That's it. Ringo. Go. Check 25.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Tucker's kick is good, and the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up first and 10 at their 25-yard line. First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Mahomes. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Yeah, good game catching the ball out of the backfield a week ago. And they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Chris Jones forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Play action. Now Jackson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Frank Clark fighting his way home to get the sack. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. On 3rd down, this is Melvin Gordon. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
It's 3rd and 11.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. He's going to air one out. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
Check. Fragno. He's coming. Double up. He's coming.
Now Jackson on 1st down. Going to throw right side here. Complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore 1st down. Now Gordon on 1st down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try the left side. Frost, and he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 6-0 our score after 1. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down, eluding the pressure right. That is caught at the 7. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive, and it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him, but whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
On second down now, Swift. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On first down, it's Samuels. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Mahomes gets this to his running back. That's Jalen Samuels. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff to Samuels. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. On 2nd and 12, Mahomes. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. They'll try the right side this time here with Gordon. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. He can run for it, and he will. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. The keeper good for only 4, and that's going to lead to a 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
John Harbaugh going to roll the dice. They're going for it on 4th down.
Just like that.
They're going to run. This is Gordon. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. Melvin Gordon unable to push his way forward. And the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. 25 yards that time. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Escaping, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Credit the sack to the always disruptive Olivier Vernon.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
It's such an impressive first half to get that lead. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception. So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up, and the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, so they held them to 3. But this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. Flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Chris Jones, his 2nd sack of the night.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Chris Jones able to record his 5th sack of the season. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And he's able to get it out of there. Watch out for Hill on the return. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it, live to fight another down. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They go play fake. Mahomes. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
50. I got it. Hey, alert, squeeze. 50. Hey, let's get them home.
Jackson from the shotgun. Going right right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. On third down, Jackson. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on fourth down. They'll run for it. It's Gordon. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Here's Mahomes to throw. Completes it to Hardman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down. Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. He was looking for his tight end, Kelsey. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Jackson. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. A very solid gain of 27. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Jackson to throw again. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, what, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs' offense about set to begin this drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays. Oh, this hurts.
And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 26. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They go play action now. Jackson. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to grade the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender.
And he loses the football a second time. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now it's Jackson. Fighting to stay upright. Chris Jones able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Being chased out left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. That scramble good for 13 yards, but not good enough for a first down. It's 4th.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. So they'll say no to the 50-yard field goal try. Instead, the offense out there, they're going for it. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is going to be incomplete. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll start the drive with Samuels. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Watch twist. Watch twist.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a fourth down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
That burst good for 20 and a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Throwing is Jackson. And his throw here is incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. He completes this one to Mack, and he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. And that's going to leave him with just one timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. And they're going to go for this. Just 1 for 3 so far on fourth down tries. They're trying again. On fourth down, Jackson. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on first and 10. Dancing to his left. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Flush to his right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
To throw on third down. Jackson eluding the pressure right. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. From 13 yards out as the Ravens push further out in front. To throw again is Jackson. That's caught at the 1. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, and try to figure out what it...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off around the 27. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. From 4 yards out. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Running to start the drive is Samuels. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of 2 there. Second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
You remember me? You remember me?
On second down, Frost. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Okay, ready? 65, 65, 65.
On first down, it's Banks. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson steps away to his left. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
To throw is Jackson. To throw on 3rd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Darren Lee picks it. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. Has a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. They complete it to Hill. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Throwing again on 2nd down. Mahomes. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Escaping the pressure right. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll keep it on the ground. Swift, and he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Chiefs are able to draw a bit closer. Extra point right down the middle, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go!
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Hey, we got 3 down. Let's go.
Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. Got a man on the right sideline. That's Mack. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Jackson now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10.
Mike's 50. Check pass.
Jackson will throw again. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Check 13.
Jackson throwing again. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Jordan Lastly was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Mahomes now to throw. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. So the final